Talia and I chose to do our ethnography project on the Polish American culture in Chicago. We are going to talk about why we chose the Polish American culture, how we collected our data, give a brief history on their background, talk about this culture's values and beliefs, and then dive into this culture interacting with the American healthcare system. We chose this culture due to their high prevalence in the Chicagoland area. We thought immersing ourselves in this culture would help us in the future since we will more than likely interact with those in this culture in our future practice. We collected data in a variety of ways. We watched a documentary titled The Fourth Partition to better understand the immigration from Poland to Chicago. We spoke with one of my coworkers and one of my mom's coworkers about some values, traditions, and other aspects of the Polish American culture, being that they are a part of this culture. We took a virtual tour of an exhibit on the Polish Museum of America's website, and we looked at a handful of articles to enhance our knowledge in this culture. So briefly looking at this culture's history, the Poles immigrated to America in general in hopes for a better life and for increased economic opportunities, since they were under foreign domination at the time and had limited opportunities. After getting to America, many headed toward Chicago, being that it was such a heavy industry time there, and there were so many job openings. Many Polish immigrants ended up working in the steel mills or the stockyards. A lot of the Poles settled in common neighborhoods in Chicago and did what they could to recreate Polish societies, resulting in Polish stores, press, theaters, taverns, and more. This culture's efforts resulted in Chicago being named the capital of Polonia, meaning people of Poland living outside of Poland, in the 1900s. When World War I began, the Poles created many organizations, each with a similar goal of working for individual betterment and the independence of Poland. Once the U.S. joined the war in 1917, they allowed those from Poland living in America who volunteered and trained to join the Polish army and fight for independence. A year later, Poland became its own country, and those who went over to fight came back to America to celebrate with loved ones. During the mid to late 1900s, Poland was under communist rule by the USSR. That being said, those who immigrated from Poland to America later on likely had different beliefs and values in topics such as government. In general, Polish Americans highly value their religion, and majority of those in this culture are Roman Catholic. Additionally, a lot of celebrated holidays and traditions in this culture are based upon religion. A large aspect that made the Polish American neighborhoods in Chicago feel like actual Polish societies was due to the creation of churches and parishes. Polish immigrants worked to build churches following Polish architecture and decorations. Some of these famous churches built by these immigrants are still standing today. For example, St. Stanislaus Kostka, pictured on the top row, and Holy Trinity, pictured on the bottom row. Moving on, one of the main symbols of Polish culture is the white eagle seen here. The white eagle comes from a folktale about the first Duke of Poland named Lech. The story goes that Lech wanted a young white eagle and he tried to take the baby eagle from its mother. The mother eagle fought back but was wounded in the process. Lech was inspired by the white eagle fighting for her child, and it reminded him of the Polish people fighting for their country. That is why Lech made the white eagle the official coat of arms of Poland, and explains why it represents the people's commitment to Poland. The Polish flag is also seen in this slide. It is a symbol of hope and the Polish people's commitment to their country, as the colors might originate from the white eagle. Some versions of the flag even show the Polish coat of arms. Another symbol in Polish culture is the national anthem. The anthem was written by a man who helped form the Polish legions, which was the Polish military during this time. The anthem was written for the retirement of army soldiers who were fighting for Poland's freedom against the Prussians, Russians, and Austrians. In English, it is called Poland is Not Lost Yet. Like the Polish coat of arms and flag, it is a symbol of the Polish people's willingness to fight for their country. Continuing, many of the culture's rituals and traditions are influenced by the culture's religion, which is Roman Catholic, as we touched on earlier. One ritual is that on Christmas Eve, a chair is left open during dinner in order to leave a place for anyone who needs somewhere to celebrate. This is done in honor of Mary and Joseph, who could not find a place to go while Mary was in labor, resulting in her giving birth in a stable. Hay is placed on the table to symbolize this. Another ritual during Christmas Eve dinner is sharing a wafer after saying hopes and dreams for the upcoming year. This tradition dates back to the Last Supper. Easter is another holiday full of traditions for this culture. During Easter, Holy Saturday is celebrated, and families create baskets full of food for the priest to bless. On Easter Sunday, families enjoy a breakfast together, and then on the Monday after Easter, Smigus Dingus Day is celebrated. This is when families and friends throw water on each other as a fun tradition. The national language of Poland is Polish. It is a Slavic language with many unique dialects depending on which region of Poland the individual is from. Polish is a widely spoken language with about 55 million people around the world speaking it. In 2010, more people spoke Polish in Chicago than any other U.S. city. This could be because Polish families value passing down the language to the next generation, and Polish is sometimes the first language learned in some families. Now that we have briefly went over this culture's history, values, beliefs, languages, and traditions, we are now going to look at the dynamic of Polish Americans within the American healthcare system. To begin, according to the 2000 census report, 88% of Polish Americans born in the United States who live in the Chicagoland area have a high school diploma, compared to the 80% for people who have no Polish ancestry. Also, this increase is seen in terms of college education, but with only a 3% difference from 30% to 33%. This would support health outcomes and healthcare utilization. In addition, the median income for Polish Americans was $57,600 compared to $50,800 for other Chicagoans. This higher income would allow them to receive better care, afford healthcare insurance, and live in neighborhoods with good healthcare facilities. Furthermore, many Polish Americans are reluctant to use government-funded programs even if they are eligible. This means that they are not utilizing services that could benefit their health. This could be a barrier to seeking healthcare services and possibly negatively impact health. Also, elderly Polish Americans prefer to stay in their homes and are reluctant to move into skilled nursing facilities. Even if there are safety concerns, Polish American elderly stay in their homes. According to the Polish American Association, this can lead to isolation, inadequate care, and poor nutrition. Polish Americans prefer to rely on their family for care, which is an example of how they value family as a culture. Additionally, the American healthcare system is more expensive than that of Poland's. This leads to wondering if the trip to the doctor is worth the copay, which could result in deciding to forego the appointment. This could be a barrier to one's health in the sense that they can miss detecting early signs of illness and/or disease. Lastly, language barriers play a role in Polish Americans' experience within the American healthcare system. It is common for those in this culture whose first language is Polish to seek out Polish-speaking healthcare professionals. If unable to find one, this can result in deciding to give up making an appointment due to fear of miscommunication and the stress that comes along with trying to communicate with someone who speaks a different language than you. This is a barrier for the health of those in this culture that struggle with the English language. Additionally, those in the Polish American culture tend to respect authority. This may support their health status, being that they will listen to their doctor and strictly follow whatever they are told to do, such as medications, precautions, etc. In contrast, doctors are also humans and can make mistakes. Refraining from asking questions to those in authoritative positions, such as healthcare professionals, when things seem incorrect and/or inappropriate, can impede on one's health. Throughout this project, we learned so much about the Polish American culture and feel grateful that we now better understand one prominent culture that populates Chicago. And these are our references. Thanks for listening.